Thank you, Miriam. Hello all. So today I'll be talking about Jews in early Qur'anic Tafsir. So Tafsir is Qur'anic exegesis or commentary. So Jews have a very special status in early Islam. There are a lot of structural similarities between Judaism and Islam, but also, from a historical perspective, they seem to get on if we look at really early texts, early Islamic texts, including the Qur'an and the Constitution of Medina. But attitudes towards Jews harden after the prophetic era and onwards. There seems to be an emphasis more on conflict rather than coexistence. And my job currently is how to explore how this is happening in tafsir literature, in Qur'anic exegesis literature. And why is the tafsir tradition important? It is, of course, how Muslims conceive of meaning in the Qur'an, how they consider what the Qur'an means. And because of that very fact, it's extremely important because that's how Muslims view God's injunctions to them. So I look at three main exegetes. The first one is Muqatil ibn Sulaiman, who's a very early Quranic exegete, the first that we have currently. And within his exegesis, the Jews of Medina feature heavily. There are several criticisms that are leveled against them. For example, disbelief, kufr, pride, concealing the truth, without these terms really being defined. So basically we've just got an introduction where some of these labels are being associated with Jews and Jewish behavior. Al-Tabari, who read a massive encyclopedic tafsir of about 20 volumes, he really expands upon these things. Why are the Jews of Medina disbelievers? What makes them disbelievers? What do they do? Why are they proud? And other such questions, and he really develops on it. And my final exegete is Ibn Kathir, who is a very famous exegete, a little bit later, but is extremely popular today. You scarcely find a Muslim household that doesn't have anything of Ibn Kathir's tafsir within it. And he mostly concurs with Al-Tabari, going a little bit further, explaining why Jews are no longer recipients of God's favour. And as we can see, there's a gradual hardening of attitudes over time. So in the way that the Qur'an is conceived, as talking about Jews, it gets more and more confrontational. Next slide, please. So this may look scary, but I promise you it's going to be interesting. So Qur'an 2:6. In Arabic, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Right? So those who disbelieve, it is the same whether you warn them or you warn them not, they will not believe. A very clear verse, talking, it seems, generally about disbelievers. And now we're going to see how exegetes attribute it to Jewish communities. So Muqatil, the first exegete, says, this is an episode relating to the Jews of Medina, and this revelation is actually directed at them. Those who disbelieve in the verses of Allah are this group of people and the named ones. He mentions the story of Judayy, Huyayb, and Akhtab, and others. And in this story, the Jews accept half the revelation, and they don't accept the other half pertaining to the Prophet Muhammad. So a sort of introductory statement as to how Jews can be related to this verse about disbelievers, which the verse, of course, is not particularly about Jews on first reading. Al-Tabari goes further, and he says, so interpretation of these verses is tantamount to, O Muhammad, as regards those Jewish rabbis, ahbar, so now he's linking it to the Jewish leaders in Medina, who repudiated your prophethood after having knowledge of it, who concealed from the people the explanation of your affair, i.e. that you were my messenger to my creatures, although I had taken a pledge and an agreement, al-ahd wal-mithaq, linked to the whole covenant thing, from them that they would not conceal it, that they would explain to the people and inform them that they had found a description of you in their books. It is all the same whether you have warned them or warned them not, reference to the verse, for they will not believe and will not return to the truth, nor will they attest to your veracity or to the truth of what you have brought them. And then Ibn Kathir goes a little further, and he says, the Almighty says, forbidding the Jews from what they intended to do of covering up the truth with falsehood, camouflaging it with falsehood, concealing the truth and manifesting falsehood, and confound not the truth with so many truths and falsehoods, nor knowingly conceal the truth, so he forbade them from both things and ordered them to reveal the truth and make it clear. As we can see, the verse itself doesn't necessarily talk about Jews at all. It's a simple Quranic verse, and indeed those who disbelieve, it's the same whether you warn them or warn them not, they will not believe. Next slide, please. So, what can we say about this trend? Early Islam, including the prophetic era, was largely tolerant of Jews. The main evidence of conflict with Jewish groups was basically for political reasons, and in general, it's sort of more coexistence. And in the early centuries of Islam, the Quran was not considered to be overly hostile to Jews at all. The Quran's hostility towards Jews was applied by later exegetes, and in doing so, of course, if Muslims conceive that the Quran is anti-Jewish, that could simply be a result of understanding what later exegetes are saying about Jews. Therefore, the claim that the Quran is anti-Jewish is unsubstantiated. Very bold claim. Rather, Jews were used by exegetes as a didactic tool in order to teach the Quran and its values to its Muslim audience. So if we can go back just one slide, just for a second. Basically, here the Quran is explaining the concept of kufr and disbelief, and the exegetes are teaching the Muslim audience how best to avoid disbelief. And of course, you need a protagonist. And so, what better protagonist than the Jews, knowledgeable people who did not accept Islam. And that's basically what's going on in every sort of not just disbelief. There are many such criticisms that were leveled. And they're taught, the way that it's taught to the Muslim audience is by using the Jews as an example. And then that's sort of taken on as the meaning of the verse of the Quran, when it's not necessarily the case. Thank you.